Life Skills, an inside experience with helpful tips to making teaching fun and engaging. Presented by Patricia from Homeschooling Autism on Instagram. Disclaimer: I'm a homeschooling mom that has had success with my son in the area of life skills based on his unique learning abilities and in part on my goals as a mom, teacher, to teach in a way that benefits his learning style needs. I am not certified in these special areas of education. I am sharing tips, tricks, examples, questions, and our own experiences that have been successful for us. My hope is that by sharing it will help spark some ideas that will benefit you and your unique learner in your own journey. Quick overview. I will be sharing some of the questions I have asked myself when I was at a crossroads for choosing a path for my son's life skill journey, with videos, lists, examples, and resources to help you create your own plan that caters to your unique learner. I will be using the term learner in my explanations. It is open to all ages, unique learning styles, diagnosis, unique abilities, and unique challenges you may be experiencing on your own journey. My hopes are that no matter what you are experiencing in your life with your learner, you will find a plan for them to succeed in their own time and in a way that is designed with their needs in mind. Our learners are mastering and being presented with new life skills throughout their lives, but sometimes we may need to zero in on a simple life skill that developmentally wise they should have achieved at a certain age milestone, according to medical professionals. Here are some questions, examples, and tips to help get your brain moving towards what may be relevant for your family or professional dynamic throughout your learner's personal journey.
So before I start this presentation about life skills, I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Patricia. I have an Instagram account where I share my day-to-day homeschooling with my son. You can find us at Homeschooling Autism. I share a lot about life skills on there, resources, tips, hauls, all kinds of stuff. I also share the why I chose to start homeschooling in the highlight section of my profile on there. So if anyone was interested in that, you can check it out. Just a little bit of background. My son was diagnosed with autism at 18 months. He is now 10 years old, going on 11 in July. He has undiagnosed sensory processing, undiagnosed ADHD. So this presentation is about life skills. I'm just sharing some of the experiences that we've had. I'm also sharing clips of my son doing some of the life skills that we do on our community week, which I share a lot about again on my Instagram. A lot of the questions that I have on here are questions that I asked myself, and then just a breakdown of some of the things you can do for life skills. So hope you enjoy the presentation.
What's important? There are lots of subcategories when teaching life skills, so it's good to follow a simple guideline to make a decision for what will work for your learner when starting out. Relevance based on your learner's abilities and importance at this time in their life or the near future. Do I have the time to teach this consistently? Do I have the resources to start at this time in our lives? Is this a skill that is being taught in other parts of my learner's day? If yes, do I want to start something new? Does my learner have any restrictions? So I've made these questionnaires in hopes that you'll be able to download them. Hopefully the link will be in the description. Details for scheduling and all about my learner. I just created this so that you guys could have a clear view of some of the questions you may ask yourself. They are some of the questions that I've asked myself when starting life skills. So I just wrote out some pretty basic things. The first question is, what is my best form of planning? And I wrote out writing out a plan, typing out a plan, researching, my favorite blogs, talking to someone close. These will be available hopefully again to download and print yourself. I have a blank copy as well as the example copy so that you guys could go over the examples that I have on here just to give you a better look into how to fill these out for yourself. What do I need to start? a schedule for how often you'll teach and how long, resources to introduce to your learner, materials you'll need for life skills you are going to try, a plan for how you'll start based on your learner's special abilities, unique ways to teach to keep your learner engaged. Once I've figured out what we want to start with, what then? Once you've determined what you feel will work for your learner, then you can start your planning and prepping. Write, or your preference, out your plan. Start gathering your needed materials. Print and prep any resources you've found. Write out what you have in your mind to start off the lesson. Use visuals or things you know will keep your learner on track. Remember that not everything will always go as planned all the time, and that's okay. Be ready to take notes on things you can change or add based on how your learner reacts to the new lessons. Stay organized. This helps keep the learner engaged. Having too many hiccups is distracting. I find we can do a lot more if we have things planned and if we have things displayed to keep us accountable. This is our home library. I have a board that has all our library information like flyers, library schedule, library rules, our public library books, and a calendar with the due date for our books. So in this picture you can see an arrow pointing down to a calendar that says February 25th. The arrow says due date on it. You can't see that very clearly in this picture. The due date is the date that is up there, so we will have to return our public library books on February 25th. I have that displayed there to keep us accountable. My son can see when our library books are due back. Right above the library books that are there displayed, I have a set of rules for how we act at the library. Right above it is our board that has flyers and a calendar for events that are happening at our public library, just in case we want to attend any of those things. This isn't a necessity, but I find that it helps a lot with my son for him to have the visuals to keep him accountable and to keep me accountable, and so that it's always right there for us to study. He gets used to it. He's aware of the rules and things like that. So I think these are very helpful to have when you have a learner that needs the repetition. So visuals are a great tool to use when trying to teach your learner something new, a new concept, a new schedule, introduce a new life skill. So I made my son this schedule. As you can see, it's in sequential order type. I would point to each picture, prompting him to do the next step. As you can see in this picture, that the middle part of it is cut out. So when he looks in the mirror, his face is right in the middle of his schedule. Again, helping keep his eye contact right in the middle so that he can look to the side to see what he needed to do next. So in the beginning, I would just point to each picture, prompting him to do the next step. As he was brushing his teeth, he would go through the brushing part of the schedule over and over until the timer was up. After the timer beeped, he would rinse his mouth with water and then mouthwash. As you can see in the picture below the schedule, he has his toothbrush, his timer, his mouthwash, and his toothpaste right where he can see it. So keeping everything in one spot helps make those concepts more concrete. Also in this picture, you cannot see, on the bottom, right in front of my sink, are two puppy paws. My son moves around a lot, so I would use the puppy paws to kind of have him reset his mind when he was moving around too much. So I would say puppy paws, and he would step on the puppy paws and would line them right back up with his schedule. In the next picture, you can see there are visuals on my wall for taking a shower. This is still a concept that my son is working on. Obviously, when kids get in the shower, they want to play. They do not want to do all the right steps. So I have a visual schedule set on the outside of my shower, and it has checking the temperature of water, taking off your clothes, and then there's one that's a lot more detailed in our shower that I point to. He has to do all the steps himself. He can ask for help, but the point of it is that you want to fade yourself out at some point so they can do this stuff independently. So he follows the schedule as I pointing to each step for him to do, and then hopefully eventually I'll be able to fade myself out completely. So this is another setup I have in my home. This is not a necessity. Again, this is just something that I chose to do. I have a life skills cooking area in my home where I have our toaster oven. Under this curtain down here, there are our supplies for cooking. As you can see on the wall, again, visuals showing not to touch the sides of the toaster oven, mittens over here. I have everything in one spot. That way we can, with ease, go into a cooking lesson without having to scramble around looking for everything. On the top of this shelf, you can see that I have different things displayed in little bins. These are just cooking utensils, cupcake toppers, sprinkles, things again that we would use in our life skills cooking time.
So not just for Life Skills Monday, I also have a period in our school day that is called Discovery Time, and it's 4 different things like this. So if he has to go to the doctor or the dentist or the doctor's office, this will be something we will learn during Discovery Time. Since our board that I showed, I'm pretty sure earlier, that one is fire safety right now, so that's what we're learning during our Discovery Time. Again, just using whatever appeals to your learner. We use this up here, and I'll tell him, or use a felt. I have a felt piece of fire in here. One of the houses is on fire. The fire truck needs to go. Even though it seems like play is a great way of learning things. So whatever helps your learner, whatever motivates your learner to learn. So he made a fire safety book, and all I do is the worksheets that we fill out, we glue them in our fire safety book. There's pieces in there for fire safety. There's lots of printables. So I have everything that I need to just grab in this little bin. We have fire exit signs. We have arrows there. These are all great life skills to learn because, as we know, disasters happen, bad things happen. It's good for your learner to be ready and to know what different peoples in the community, helpers in the community look like. So lots of fire safety stuff. Here's the felt fire. I'll also put this on my son and tell him, your clothes are on fire, stop, drop, and roll. So great way, very easy. I mean, I literally just cut out some felt. That's it. It's like so cheap. It's like 30 cents at Walmart. And then just different ways teaching him when there's a fire, do you hide under the bed? No. Do you hide under the table? No. Do you get out of the house? So, lots of different things, and that's here in my life skills area where I have all of my task cards. I have his doctor, his dentist stuff, some sequencing stuff, lots and lots of task cards, and then these bins are specifics. So I have lots of life skills stuff ready to go, a lot of resources. So here are some more task cards. I just buy these photo case things at Michael's when they're on sale. I can't remember. I think they're like $8 when they're on sale. So my son is really good with task cards. It's easy for him. So this is just a whole bunch of task cards with different things for life skills learning. So that's community. This is like house stuff. Cooking. I have all kinds of visuals in here and tasks that we can do to expose him to different areas of life skills, so that when we start off, it's never just out of the blue. We kind of ease into it, and then we may go into hands-on stuff sometime during the lessons. I hope this is not overwhelming for you guys. I haven't been accumulating this stuff for years, and I'm always a little bit extra, so you do not have to have this much stuff.
we do year-round school, so I've accumulated a lot, and we work on a lot of different skills at different times, so I have a whole bunch of stuff already here for myself and my son. So this bin is all about going to the grocery store, so it has different tasks in here to do. Again, a lot of this stuff is things you can purchase on Teachers Pay Teachers, in bundles and things like that. They also have sales, so I usually try to get sales to purchase this stuff. So all of this having to do with food, obviously, because my son loves food, he loves logos, he loves going to the grocery store. This is something that I started off with for him, because it was actually one of the first life skills that I started off with, besides like doctor, dentist stuff that was he was having to do all the time. So just have my printables bound together. These are things that we use. Again, these bundles come with lots of resources, so they will come with, this particular one came with file folders for cooking, meal planning, going to the grocery store. It also came with a lot of worksheets, so I printed them all out. And this whole bin is nothing but that, so I can just get in here and grab what I need. My son and I also have a designated time, even though we do school year round. Every Monday is dedicated to life skills, so we will do tasks like these to work on our life skills. And again, this is something that I really like for my son. There's also exercise stuff in here at the bottom somewhere. So I have it all just stored in here. I pull out my bin. We're ready to go. Everything's ready. So I'm not trying to figure out what I'm going to teach or anything like that. I have everything at my fingertips. So not only to just stick with using adapted resource material, I also do adapted hands-on stuff. So this was adapted for my son. I bought this at the Dollar Tree when he was learning how to pour liquids. It has the little spout on there, and it has a lid so that it doesn't just pour all out. This is also something we do on Life Skills Monday, teaching him how to pour, teaching him how to measure. Usually I dye the liquid with just a little bit of food coloring so he can see where it's at the line. So that's also further adapting for him, for his needs. We use funnels sometimes so that he doesn't spill. Puts it in, pours it in there. Again, adapting for your learner's specific needs. This we use just very simple old container that I had. Just took off the label, dyed some rice, put some beans in there, and this is for him for scooping or measuring dried ingredients. So something that he can learn with fine motor skills and learning how to measure. So that's also something we have done. He has graded before, and I got this from Walmart. They're like $1, I think. So even though this all seems kind of overwhelming, you can do it specific to your learner. Again, I have accumulated a lot of things over the years. A lot of this stuff is from the dollar store, Dollar Tree. Walmart has cheap little cooking utensils and things. But again, it's skills that we're going to be working on, because eventually I would love for my son to be able to cook for himself. You know, even if it's something small, make himself a sandwich or something. We want to encourage them to be moving forward. Even if it's a small amount, you know, make yourself a sandwich. So timer in here. There are also a lot of, I have specifics in here. So exposure, lots of labels and things like that for him to see. Also to use, like when we are using icing or something in, when we're actually cooking, he has the pictures for it, or we've gone over them so he knows the terminology. So there are different things in there. So liquids, ingredients to mix, some like piping, mixing, microwaving, things like that. In here, we just have some cards for measuring. So I'll pull out one of these cards and tell him what do we use to make 1.5 teaspoons, and then he has to get, they're in here, the teaspoons that match the numbers and pour the ingredients onto it. So simple stuff. It doesn't have to be hard. It can be very, very easy. And I actually made these for my son. That way he knows what is a dry ingredient, what is a liquid ingredient, and what utensils to use. So it has the pictures on there, very big, and then it has just a few examples of what can be considered a dry and liquid ingredient. So there's that. Again, this is stuff that we practice on our Life Skills Monday: pouring, scooping. He also has this for sweeping, so I may get something like this. You can use beads or something lighter, whatever you would like for sweeping. Just grab the little broom thing. Again, this is from Dollar Tree, and just sweep. I don't think my son's at the level of holding a broom and doing that, so we use the small one because he has a better grip, and there's a lot less space in between for him to have to maneuver around. Here are some more visuals. We use these, again, this is something very, very simple. Toast, making toast. Learning your way around the toaster, how to set it, how not to burn yourself, because I still burn myself when I take toast out. So again, these are things you can find on Teachers Pay Teachers. Making a bowl of cereal. If you want to start off with something simple, just pouring cereal into a bowl. It does not have to be over the top or anything like that when starting out. It could be very simple, just showing your child their way around the kitchen, exposing them to stuff like that. I also made these a while back for my son. Excuse me, it's very hard to hold this open and video. So when we were learning our way around the toaster oven, I just had made a few visuals for him, and now he knows how to use the toaster oven. Although he still doesn't use it on his own, I can tell him, set it, turn it on, put the thing in there, and he knows how to do all of that. And we had these visuals up. Here are some recipes that I have made. I will be opening a TPT soon, so if any of these recipes are something that you feel like your learner is capable of doing at this moment in time, then you're free to go and look in my TPT. And I hope to have that information for you guys soon. If not, again, if you're an Instagram using person, I am on Instagram, Homeschooling Autism, so I always post what we're doing, stuff like this. I share a lot on there about resources, and you also find out, if you were interested, what my TPT name will be here in the near future. Okay, so this is our life skills cooking area. Not to overwhelm you, this desk was given to my husband and was completely free from his work, so you don't have to buy this stuff. I just happened to have gotten something free from my husband's work. I made these, again, over time. I've accumulated lots of different things, so I label everything so that he can see the pictures of what they are. I make these myself, and I just put the supplies we need, so a grocery list for ourselves, and then the activities that we may be doing. Like up here was Valentine kebab, Rice Krispies. Sorry, my son's behind me, he doesn't want me to talk. And then I just store some ingredients and things in here. So everything is set over here. Also, this table was given to my husband from work again. These are plugs here, so I've plugged it in here. Made these curtains. They're literally dish towels from the dollar store that I just sewed together and put on here. I keep all of our cooking stuff down here. And again, just to reiterate, I hope this is not overwhelming you. This is stuff that I have accumulated, and I'm an extra person, so I take everything to a whole other level. If you want to do that, that's perfectly fine, but don't feel that you need to. You can start off with something very simple with your child, again, like the measuring and all that, or exposing them just to terminology and different things that they will see in the kitchen. So we have a griddle here, and this is just where I keep all my supplies. This bookshelf, As you can see, it was a lot like that desk over there. Was a free thing that my husband got from work, so I did not have to pay for that. Some more cooking resources that I have just bound up in here. I grab these, very easy for my son to just pull out as opposed to ripping the foil. I get these at the dollar store, so I always stock up when I see them. I keep plates and things. Obviously Valentine's is right around the corner, so I keep those in there. This was also another adapted product that I got for my son. You put the batter in here, squeeze it. Good for fine motor, but if your kiddos can't, you can always use a scoop or something adapted to help your child or your learner better use these kinds of utensils. So I have all of our stuff in here that we use, extra little cups and things. Sometimes when we make things, make food or make treats, we put them in here and we give them to our family members. So another added life skill for him to socialize and make gifts for other people. And then I just have a lot of extras down here. A lot of this stuff, again, is from the dollar store, from Walmart, stuff that's cheap. You do not have to break the bank to teach your learner about life skills. It's just about finding what's right for you and adapting it for your learner's special needs. Okay, so maybe you're not ready to jump fully into life skills, so you want to kind of keep it low key. There are some things that you can do with just the stuff around your house. Some buckets, having your learner sort socks, put them together, separate them by color, just using bins. You could actually use the mail that you get in for them to sort, or use blank envelopes with addresses and have them sort those together too. I save a lot of our ads from grocery stores. We look at them. I use them in math. Some of the math worksheets that we do, you could have them cut out the pictures, sort and match coupons, things like that. All of this is considered still in the area of life skills. They're getting exposure to things that we see in everyday life. So you can discuss pictures, prices, all kinds of stuff. This is from the dollar store. You could also have them stock. So cut the pictures out. You could put on here dairy. You can put on here chips. Cut the pictures out and stock them. So something very easy, very inexpensive. I did this early on with my son when we were learning things you should eat and things you shouldn't eat, which again is another life skill. So just cut out pictures from ads, glued them to a piece of paper, and laminated them. If you don't have a laminating sheet, that's perfectly fine. These things are free, so you can cut them out as much as you want to, or you could put a piece of tape to keep them a little bit more durable. So I just had a picture. You could cut out a picture of your child, maybe have them take a picture with their mouth open. You cut the piece out. Are you supposed to eat this? Yes or no? You know, that's basically what we did. Or again, you could have them sorting these. So inexpensive ways of teaching life skills, or if you're not sure your learner is going to jump into a skill and you don't want to purchase things on Teachers Pay Teachers or anywhere else, these are easy ways of doing it. So I purchased the kits from Target Dollar Spot, and these were on the back. So it had pictures of what was in the kit. So I kept it, cut it out, laminated it, and added these little tags so that I could write in the price. So instead of throwing it away, I used it. He has these felt foods, so we use it. I could just make it like it's a menu. Again, if you want to work on certain types of skills, you can do sorting cutlery, buy plastic forks and spoons and just have them sort into a tray. If you're working on fine motor, you can do taking off the tops or pouring Same with these, getting themselves a scoop of a snack food, or taking the lid off and putting it back where it belongs on the shelf. Things like that. It's all life skills. So I purchased these, I believe, at the thrift store. This one I thought was awesome because it actually has environmental print for Walmart. As you can see, the tag is still in there. And fake food, just shopping for fake food. What do we need today? Making a grocery list, just writing it down. We need carrots. And then have them put that in the basket. That's all. It's dramatic play, but it's all part of life skills that your learner could be learning right now. And then, you've practiced it so much at home. When you go to the grocery store, they could actually help you shop for some of the foods there. You can find fake food. I have found so many fake food items. The cutlery, I see a lot of people that sell at garage sales and at the thrift store. The plastic spoons and knives that the babies use, and they sell them all together in a bunch, and I would never reuse them for my child, but I will buy them for him to sort. So things like that. Garage sales, thrift stores, Walmart, it's all cheap. Yeah, inexpensive way of teaching your learner life skills. Okay, so here is another low-tech way or inexpensive way of teaching your learner some life skills. So you can buy trays like these, at the dollar store, all your loose change, sorting. Again, dollar store, you can just use the sticker to put in there, or have them put sticker on ads that match the prices or around the prices, or do dollar up. That's what I use these for. I also keep gift cards from food places and things like that he has received before. I will keep these, and we use them to purchase things using a gift card. Another low-tech way, and I use these a lot in teaching my son how to dress himself. I just took pictures of his shoes with my hand in the picture, pointing to the tag, pointing to the bottom, pointing to how it was inside out, and then just labeled them on the bottom. This I use because he has lots of bins of toys in his room. So I just put Gears bin, and he has to select from picture icons that just say what's on the back. So it'll say Gears bin, and he has to pick, I want to play with Gears bin, because I don't like him to have all his toys at once. But that's another low-tech way of doing stuff, just printing out the pictures, especially if your kiddo needs the specifics to see this is exactly what's in each bin, so he can look to see what he wants to play with. There's lots of different things, but that's another inexpensive way of showing your learner some visuals, helping them figure out what they want or how to sort things. Another inexpensive way, again, I just collect the change that is around the house. These obviously are the little play money that came with this, but again, exposure, seeing what the prints look like, because that's what it actually looks like. Well, not anymore really, but just sorting the money or using it for dramatic play. Again, this, pictures of food. You can use the cutouts from the advertisements if you want to make food. You can just put doubles, tape doubles down here, and they can put the food that goes there on there, like dairy or meat, things like that. You could also have them put the cutlery down, dress the plate by using what they would use when they sit down to have a meal. So lots of different ways to teach, inexpensive ways to teach. So tech is another great life skill that is evolving, because most things have touchscreen now. They don't really particularly have these buttons, but here are some older tech things that I let Jonah use that shows him how to use the keyboard, exposure to the home row keys and all the keys that are on the computer. Even though most things are touchscreen now, it still has the layout. Well, this one doesn't, but this one does. Bought this at a garage sale for $1. It's Bluetooth connected, So it just connects to his iPad and have him type words. I bought this at a thrift store for like $10 that it comes with a little game console and things. I just plug it into my TV and he can use, it has a mouse on here somewhere. There it is. So he uses the mouse and all the keys for that. I bought this on clearance after Christmas. Again, just exposure to something that's like a keyboard. But lots of different ways. iPad's not up here. He took it. My son took it. So iPad is obviously a big one because our kids are exposed to a lot of technology right now with phones and iPads and different kinds of gaming and technology of that sort. But it's a great skill for them to learn. It's great when aiding with spelling and communication, using AAC devices. Lots of different things and ways to teach this particular skill. Obviously, you can start with something a lot lower tech, like just printing out what it looks like and then having them push the letters on a piece of paper. But I mean, you can find old keyboards anywhere. The people are getting rid of them because everything is touchscreen now. But a fun way to start, expose them to what a keyboard looks like, a computer board, what the layout is like. So great life skill. So here are a few chores, life skill type things that I have in my classroom. My son and I do year-round school. We do about 3 hours of school every day, and at the end of every day he is responsible for checking this board to do his chore for the day. So as you can see here, his pencils, and typically what I do is I have everything in here. I will put this out. He has to sharpen the pencil and stick it in there. So if that arrow is unsharpened the pencils, that's what he'll do. He also has bags for the trash, and I have him use wipies to wipe down our desk and wipies to wipe down our board. This needs to be updated. I actually want to add a few extra things on here. Watering plants, we usually do that during springtime when we do our planting seeds. So he will be responsible for watering plants, but I do want to add a few extra things to there. Also wanted to touch on this a little bit. It's kind of a life skill type thing. So he is responsible every day for his core learning, discovery time learning, for 4 areas in our learning day to earn $1. So he earns his $1, he gets it and puts it in here. I'll grab the $1 right now so you guys can have a visual for that. So he has to earn $1 every day, or not $1 for 4 different things in our school day. So he earns $1, and then at the end of the day he has to, or he doesn't have to, but he gets to purchase something out of here. So a treat. This is his reinforcer for the whole day. Usually he wants this, so he will accumulate $4. He can either spend it on 2 different items or 1 item. So $4 collected. I make him pay me. He picks what he wants. He sees the price. There you go. Great life skills. So again, depending on your learner, this is another thing that my son and I do. We do it usually around a holiday, so we're not doing it all the time, but especially around the holiday time, we do it a lot more often. He has this. I don't want to show you guys the little things because it does have our addresses on there. So this will say city, zip code, or name, address, what is it, city, zip code, city and state, zip code. So he has to stack those on there, and then obviously it has it in order up here. He puts his address up here, and then there's also a writing version on the back so he can see what a letter should look like. So we do send out cards to our family members. All Jonah does is stamp the inside with stamps because he's not really a writer, or put stickers on the inside, and then he will stamp it with this, made with love. I got this from Dollar Tree. Stamps it and then writes his name. That's all the writing he's really responsible for that. And for the adding the address, I just print on these, sorry, there's addresses on there. I just print on these from Walmart, the laser, I don't know what you call those, the labels. I just print his address, the person we're sending it to, and he's responsible for taking the sticker off and putting it in the right places, and then adding the stamp as well. So he'll add the stamp to that. Here's an example thing that I got from Teachers Pay Teachers, so he can write a letter eventually someday, but I do expose him to what it looks like. So, and then here's another just example that I put up on our board up here for directions. And I also have some for putting the card in. Like I literally just put a card with an envelope with the card sticking out. That's one of the steps for writing a letter. And I just keep a bunch of extra stuff in here, stickers. I have extra cards. I have a whole other bunch of stickers over there. So just put everything up here on this desk. That's when we do it. As you can see, there's some stuff up there. There's actually a card right there. And that's one of the life skills that I help my son teach, even though, again, everything's kind of wireless, not wireless, but we're going more tech now and less of this kind of handwritten sentiment type of stuff, but we still do that. And these I just get 50 cents at Dollar Tree. So just get a few cards for our family members and we send them to them during the holidays.
List of some life skills categories: hygiene, safety, self-help, vocational, environmental, medical, cleaning, independent living, community-based, cooking, social, technology. List of life skills tasks. Here's a small breakdown of the main categories. Hygiene: washing hands, brushing teeth, brushing hair, shaving, showering, toileting, grooming of any kind, etc. Safety: fire safety, bike safety, strangers, road safety, car safety, natural disasters, electrical, playground, swimming, animal, hazardous materials, home safety, etc. Self-help: getting dressed, tying shoes, buttoning, zipping, choosing clothes, getting their own clothes, feeding themselves, drinking independently, exercising, body regulation, behavior regulation, etc. Vocational: job readiness, sorting, stocking, interview readiness, bagging, cashier readiness, assembling, etc. Environmental: road sign recognition, store sign recognition, safety signs, reading menus, etc. List of life skills tasks. Here's a small breakdown of the main categories. Medical: doctor visit, dentist visit, eye doctor visit, addressing medical issues, identifying pains, anatomy, medicine, etc. Chores: cleaning of any kind, classroom chores, yard work, washing the car, taking care of a pet, recycling, etc. Community-based: library skills, restaurant skills, grocery store skills, special event skills, etc. Cooking: utensil recognition, food prep, food safety, sorting, stocking, measuring, temperature, using appliances, etc. Social: etiquette, conversation, turn-taking, parallel play, relationship with family, relationships, etc. Technology: computer skills, iPad skills, emails, typing, apps, etc. Teaching techniques. Here are just a few ways these skills can be introduced: identifying terms and pictures, finding the function of an object, hands-on approach, modeling, matching, reading about the life skill, task cards, field trips, spotting objects in the community, pointing to things, taking pictures of things.
There you go. Okay, now we need dip it in the chocolate.
Over here, babe. Careful, keep your hand up. Keep it up. You need to stand up for this, babe. Okay. Get in there. So let's bring it closer. And flip it. Good job. Can you do that one? Keep your hand up. It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. It's good.
Hand up. Scoot, scoot, scoot. Good. Now flip it.
Flip it.
Great job. Nice work.
279. Credit 79.
Nuggets.
279. Credit 79. 279. Credit 79 cents.
Good. Like 2 beeps. There you go.
79.
Great job.
Cents.
Let's. Okay, can we get the bag, Jonah? Let's get the bag. Great job.
Community-based learning. Here are a few examples of places you can visit for community-based learning. Grocery store, library, sightseeing, post office, fire station, restaurant, bowling, Chuck E. Cheese, running errands, visiting relatives, church, charity volunteering.
Yeah.
Tips. Plan ahead. Keep visuals or any materials in a special place to grab on the go. Keep your standards simple. Be patient. Allow your learner time to take it all in. This will be different from person to person. If you've reached the allotted time you've given your learner and they aren't responding, move on and save what you have for when they are ready. Don't forget to use your reinforcers to keep them motivated. Every day is a learning experience, even on days that seem bad. Most of what we teach will be in levels. Teach as much or as little as needed.
So I hope this presentation has helped you get a clearer view on some of the things you can do for life skills, some of the ways you can adapt things for your learner. Again, on Instagram, my handle is Homeschooling Autism. I share a lot of information about our community week and what that means, what that looks like for us, and hopefully you can pick up some things that you and your learner can do in your own journey. That's it. Thank you for sticking around. Hopefully those printables will be available for you in the description below. The questionnaire that has questions that you can ask yourself to kind of help you get started. But other than that, that's it. Thanks again for following along with us.